Oh, the headsets.
Yeah. Get a microphone.
You don't have to hear yourself. You're going to be scared.
Next. I know it's regular on live stream. I saw it.
How did you sing? Presh. Are you on Twitter?
Yes, House of Presh SA. Presh.
One week.
No, house underscore of underscore.
Underscore is it?
Yes.
This is my place.
Yes.
I will pick up.
I think I'm going to House of Presh because Mike is the one who's doing my Twitter. House of Presh SA. But the other House of Presh.
You want us to ask him quickly?
Please.
I'll wait for him to respond. Gone 36 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock. It's a great evening, and thank you so much for joining us. And of course, that was Abantwana. It's a song titled Intonga Yamba. It's a lovely tune. It is a throwback Tuesday, and thank you so much for your listening pleasure once more on 0123249936. That's exactly where you can unite with us on this lovely Tuesday evening. Hey, yeah, pula ema leon. Mara others barakidi pula the blessings. So I hope that you guys has a song titled Big Girls Don't Cry, and this one is Feji, an international artist on that one. You know, growing up, I used to actually, I don't know if you guys if I've told you this story. I used to have a female cousin. So Nernali music book. So that's how I sort of got to know all these, CC songs. But they're very nice, You become romantic at a tender age. By 8 years old, I'm telling you, I already knew the lines to a girl's heart. I remember my first encounter. I'll tell you on the flip side of this. If you're checking what's happening on Twitter, Clicks is trending, Kefilo is trending, Saps is trending, Bonang and Fam on the flip side. It's 37 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock. A big shout out to the Capsule Drive with Tumelo Mohapi. Kintwing High Size is hashtag Mzala. Tshwane FM 93.6 is exactly where you are. The Capital Talk taking you all the way to 8 p.m. And yeah, man, interesting Tuesday. A lot of things that we'll be talking about today as we're coming through to you live on YouTube and also on Facebook. This one is Space FM Space 93.6. I'm looking forward to your comments there. Remember to send us the voice notes on 0825385810. Today I'm speaking to the ladies, man. I've got beautiful ladies that are talking to me. I've got one in studio. Hey, but a beautiful one in studio joining me. It's going to be an interesting evening. 38 minutes have gone since your side, and also on the flip side, just checking news that are making headlines. See, Patricia DeLille is among those that are leading the top stories as she finds herself in a scopper crosshairs over the Beitbridge border fence saga, and that's actually a developing story. We'll be looking at that story closely. Otherwise, you can give us a call on 012324936. That is 012324936. And if you missed the call, rather the number to call once more, this is how it goes.
Yeah, it's a sniper thing.
We'll pick you up from wherever you are. Push up.
Yeah, I'm good.
Relax. 39 after 6 o'clock. I think a big story trending now. I saw actually on various social media platforms, there was actually a lot of police vans that were being vandalized by a group of, white young men from South Africa. And it appears as though that this is in relation with the hashtag farm murder. So you remember that a 21-year-old young man in the Free State was actually tortured to death in what is labeled as a farm killing. And I think that story is also just gaining traction. We'll be looking at very closely. But on the flip side of that, like I did mention to you guys that I'm joined by a beautiful lady, and just checking up as well on our status there. We're looking at entrepreneurship, and we're celebrating entrepreneurs in our space. And tonight, for the first discussion, we're joined by Precious Skosana, very beautiful, but not just beautiful. And Precious, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm not smelling the way you're smelling.
You're not smelling the way I'm smelling?
Yeah.
Nah, when I live here, then it's one kind of waiting kind of thing.
So you develop, you manufacture that perfume.
That's correct.
What pushed you to developing perfume?
Well, no, it's not even like that. No, man. Like, perfume, and I'm sure everybody else loves perfume, I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't like to smell good. So I've always loved smelling good and everything. But what made me push this thing harder?
Yeah.
It's the feeling I got when somebody compliments me. When somebody compliments you on how you smell.
Yeah.
I feel like that
like I just did now.
Exactly. Like that is way more than how you'd be like, oh, you look so beautiful. Nah, looks can be deceiving, but the smell.
House of Presh. That's where all this thing is being manufactured. And if you want to jump in that conversation, hit us up on Facebook. It is Tshwane Space 93.0. Do check the coolest guy in studio, Mokete Radebe on Facebook and also on YouTube. There, we're checking some of your comments and would love to hear from you in that regard. 0123249936. If you want to specifically phone that. Also, just the numbers are high, so link sharp as well. So from the compliment, you took it serious, you get excited, and I'm going to do something about it.
Yes, that's correct.
And then what was the next step?
The next step?
Yeah.
The next step was to, you missed something, ne? I smelled good, the compliment, I felt nice, but there's something missing there. From smelling good, feeling nice, you get the confidence.
Oh, wow.
That's when you got the confidence.
So you became confident?
I became so
confident. Jesus.
I became so confident, and I think that's what I want for people,
Yeah.
Let alone smelling nice, let alone smelling nice and having compliments, but then to just have that confidence to do anything,
Precious, just on that, and a lot of people don't realize how much confidence plays a major role in people's lives, but on a far deeper level, a lot of people don't take up opportunities because they're not confident about themselves. You're actually raising a fundamental point. But yeah, please proceed on the story. It's a bit next. It's another listener too.
No, as I was saying, it's the confidence that pushed this thing, And then I got confidence. No, let me start up this business. At the beginning, what the answer.
Yeah.
I feel like, no, it's not gonna happen, this. But the more compliments I got, you actually smell nice. Where's this from? And I was like, with my friends, I gave them samples, kind of and it was out. They're like, what do you think? And the results, it was amazing. From there, I started giving it to like not strangers per se, but people who are not as close to me, So that they were my friends, exactly. I've been
sport.
Yes. So after that, the feedback I got, man, it played a huge role.
And how long have you been in this space? How long have you been, I don't even know whether to say designing, developing, or manufacturing perfume. What do you call this?
We manufacture perfumes.
We manufacture perfumes.
Yes.
And how long have you been, in the space of manufacturing perfumes?
I started during the tragedy that was happening in the country.
You know what? You're not the first actually guest that we have in studio that speaks how COVID-19 was an icebreaker for them. A part of me largely feels that COVID-19 was actually what most people in South Africa needed. Because I think that's what distinguishes leaders from those that are victims. So some people saw COVID-19 as the end of the world, and you saw it as a world of opportunities.
Yes.
So how lockdown was? No, you know what? It creates a perfume. Mind you, can't get lockdown. People don't even have anywhere to go. When our risk out high, now I want to bring another element. I think what's happening a lot in social media. A lot of people have been speaking about how today water is now thicker than blood. Let's think about your immediate surroundings. How was your blood? How supportive were they?
This is not because I'm on radio or anything.
Yeah. But Oscar bribe.
My family, it's overwhelmed.
I
don't want to lie. The support I received, I'm like, hey, it was, I'm like, back in the days when I was in high school, I wanted to study language, to study language and everything. Not much support. Engineering, but this time around, I was like, okay, fine, I'm making perfumes, I'm doing this. At the beginning, it was that thing. My mom, hey, what are you doing? And all that. But when I finally explained to her, this is where I want to go. From that moment, the support, it was very, it's actually overwhelming. I don't want to lie.
Now let's speak about your life before COVID-19, before your business. 47 after 6 o'clock, Tshwane FM 93.6. This is the station that continues to rock you most. We're joined by the lovely Precious and from the House of Presh. I can't stop saying the House of Presh. I think the only reason you are here is because of the House of Presh, right?
Yes.
Now, your life before the House of Presh, were you employed? Were you studying? How was your life like?
Yes, I was employed and also studying same time. I studied mechanical engineering.
Oh, engineering.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I knew
you were helping me out a lot.
So are you still using the qualification and even though you're still busy business out? So let's start with the employment. Or resigning?
No, I didn't resign.
You're still working?
No, I'm not working. COVID happened.
Yes. Okay.
COVID
so you were repositioned, and so basically it's a how to amu again.
No, it was even before that because I got it during the lockdown. It was that stay-at-home thing. Before the final cut, contract. So the time when got lockdown, got 21 days. Remember the 21 days?
Yeah, the first one.
Yes, people developed a lot of hobbies. So did I.
Yeah.
And it was like and then when the big cut happened, Precious that's when I got a wake-up call. And I was like, Mara, actually this thing, it's actually an opportunity. I saw an opportunity from a tragedy, if that's the word.
You're correct.
I saw a very big opportunity and I ran with it. I went with it. And
before we proceed with it, look, this is a very different mindset that you had. And believe me, quite a number of people wouldn't have seen it in that way. What do you think was the fundamental drive behind you seeing things the way you saw them? I mean, just for the listener at home, I mean, today it's COVID. Tomorrow is going to be something else, and obviously situations are its one, others it could be a loss of employment opportunities. There's people that have been applying, you saw the statistics on employment. People have actually stopped looking for employment. But if you were to just advise the person at home, what has been the drive behind your set of thinking, especially with regards to the fact that there wasn't employment opportunities. Let me just put it that way. Because if you look at our spanning, that's like, lack of employment opportunity.
Barking, this thing by Mzala for IR.
Yeah.
Yes, for IR is in, and it's taking its course.
I hear you.
Worldwide. The law that used to happen in 1994 after, after freedom and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know this Tshwane?
Next.
Right now, living at this Tshwane.
Sheva no bara shebi.
Yeah.
Things are no longer the same.
Yeah, they're no longer the same. And we're moving with the times. You have to move with the times. My advice to the youth out there, move with the times. Oscar Barking, no Shebile TV, it's easy, it's nice. After 10 years, it's going to be the same thing. No, we'll be watching TV maybe in the clouds. Who knows? It's going to be different. And it's not going to change. Like, if IR is coming in, like, even employment, yes, there's still employment out there, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So that's why now it's up to us, the youth, it's up to us entrepreneurs to create that platform for people to do their own thing. Wabona House of Presh,
yeah.
I'm not here. I didn't start it and all that. No, not really. I want to empower people to start their own thing.
Yeah.
If there's somebody out there who has a business, Korea,
yeah.
What like House of Presh, do your own thing, like move with the times. Yes. As a resellers, I'm big on that. I want resellers. And then I'll train you on how to be an entrepreneur. But make sure that you.
Kana making this perfume is like the numbers are low. I want to don't put on Mama Goga fish like dreams. You might say in champion. I told you spirit Rajali. Hi, Precious. 52 minutes after 6 o'clock, and we are with Presh from the House of Presh, and you can check it out. Check her out on Facebook and also on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be sharing those handles with you just in a bit. You have an interesting story because your story is not I got lucky and then the product was supported, right? You started it afresh, and let me tell you now, if they have not told you, the beauty industry has a lot of opportunities, but it's very competitive.
That's true.
With strong brands that have been happening, And I'm saying this to just make you aware that you've got, you've got a liver. You've got a liver. You came into a market that is highly saturated, highly competitive. My biggest question is, if you didn't know that, now you know it. But if you knew it and you still came through, what was the plan, and where do you see House of Presh? How do you want House of Presh to be recognized in 5 to 10 years from now?
5 to 10 years. I don't just want to sell perfumes, a fair lunch.
Okay.
Like also I do lotions, body lotions,
and
lotions. Yes.
Yeah.
And then because of COVID, there's also sanitizers.
Oh yes.
Yes, we also have sanitizers. Yes.
Because sanitizers didn't come.
Yeah, handy. What is? So I want to come up with more products, like the others on the internet. Okay, fine. How can I do this? Hey, you want the diffuser? The diffuser. Yeah, what's the
same diffuser?
Diffuser.
I can't say this.
Diffusers is those like a perfume, a room perfume.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The ones with the
Okay, Mama will get diffused. Well, I know the name.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest. But learning takes place.
It does. Yeah. So I want to introduce more product, but otherwise, nonetheless, man, I want somebody who has a little brandiaga. Even that, not just friend of us, make a nice whatever.
Yeah.
We're going back to confidence,
Yeah.
And people to have the confidence to do anything. I mean, anything.
I hear you.
Anything.
So basically, the backbone of your brand, it's confidence. So it's a confidence-driven brand.
Yes.
And this brings me to my next question to say, who are the target market? Target market in the sense that when you manufactured it, who did you have in mind? Who did you see wearing it?
Mm-hmm. You know who I saw wearing it? Ne? I saw
Except for now.
I saw a young girl like myself, and I had to urge.
Kana, how old is young? I'm kidding. You don't have to answer.
Yes, I saw a young girl going to an interview, even a radio interview like this, but a job interview.
I hear you.
Ale nervous, ale ing.
Oh wow.
That person has just needed a touch of confidence. Be confident, and you'll get it. So many people fail at so many things because they're not confident.
Sure.
I'm also looking at the guy who has a little crush on somebody else.
Yes.
Like I cannot tata.
Man, I'm telling you, that's not a guy from Pretoria. Pitori. Pitori Oshela Atubide Nyauke. 55 minutes after 6 o'clock. This is Tshwane FM 93.6. Majida, I'm rooting for you here. So are the perfume I nearly said it's fine. So you designing, you manufacturing it. So first part, or is the guy?
It's a guy.
Yeah, like your sales. How big are your sales now?
Well, the latest fragrance, it's really going out there. They're getting it. Like they're getting the message. They're getting it. They are so difficult.
Is it? How much does it cost, Yamajida?
Yeah. The 55 ml is 250.
55 ml can give this one.
It's the same size, but then
what's that one? I'm already marking the car. Baba feeling. But engineering, it's a perfume. When I was dominant, but it's the runa moridium. That's what I want. So okay, so 550 mil. That is.
No. 55.
55 mil. Sorry, yes. No, former president. It's 200 rand.
250.
250 for guys.
For guys.
For ladies.
For ladies is 200.
But that's patriarchy, most. That's patriarchy.
No, it's not.
But into the feminists will complain or why I want to cheap. Are you saying about cheap? Why what? Yes, 250 leon. I'm telling you. Okay. And then so in terms of the now the different what do you call them? Do you have sort of like the different sense? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, 100%. I'm telling you. 57 after 6. Tshwane FM 93 live also on YouTube. It is Tshwane Space FM Space 93.6 on Facebook. And if you look at Mokete Radebe on YouTube, we'll be speaking to you. On Twitter, it's at Tshwane FM. And on Instagram, it's Tshwane FM _official. And I'm with the House of Presh in the house. No. I'm with the founder of the House of Presh. Let's go about again. Presh. She's the founder of the House of Presh. So tell me about the different scents that you have. I see Moke House of Presh fan. How do you sort of distinguish them?
There's distinguish this.
Oh wow,
this one is not there. Yes.
Okay, but that's so nice. That's out of the box. Yeah. And I like the design. Who did the design for you? Did you do it yourself?
No, unfortunately. But that's also another project I'm hoping to get into to design my own bottles. That's where mechanical engineering is.
Otoro. Magogo feel everything. High cigar is design. It gets regis. Now, so I believe also there's a lot of retailers that will be interested. Is there any that you've spoken to?
Yes, there are. There are a couple that I've spoken to. Last day I was speaking to a girl who is in Limpopo. Okay. She's gonna open up her own spa, beauty spa. Yes. So she hit me up, but you know what, babes, I love your stuff. can you please provide so that I can sell them in my store? I was like, okay, fine. And there's also a gentleman who has a shop. Liena approached me and then
Wow.
and there's also people who selling online.
Yeah.
Yes, they approaching me and then they have the online stores. And yeah.
So when we register wrong at this point in time, is it just based on a Kupa and then we meet up?
Yes.
And this is just based in Gauteng for now.
No. Oh, the courier services.
So you
We
go
courier
everywhere.
nationwide. Again, I had a customer in Cape Town. This is the furthest I got.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I want to know Lena.
Hey, yeah.
But I'm sort out.
Courier hey fitla. Wherever phone. Oh, I have a ring.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Fitla. Kokonya ka. Flop na
Yeah.
address. No
Yeah.
address.
And Okori Tabin, she's probably watching actually now. Yeah.
You know, I had a customer, she bought in bulk. She's in the Eastern Cape, in the
Wow.
deep rural areas
Wow.
of the Eastern Cape. Mind you, there's no house numbers there.
Yo. So, kuro umasaja ka disini. Yo, hi. Let's check out chat. It's 7 on top of the hour. We're with the lovely Presh from the house of Presh. Just speaking to us at this point in time. Precious, you know your story is very, very inspirational. I think we spoke about that just off air to say, you know, in as much as we are here today to talk about the great work that you're doing, but I think it's quite fundamental to also, you know, shed light on the fact that your journey is one that South African women are waiting for. You know, there's just a lot of, you know, women in South Africa, especially young women, that have not, you know, had the confidence to start out anything. And this is primarily because of, you know, the institutional patriarchy that has been there for years, you know. And maybe before I get into that, my biggest, and I ask this quite a lot, go the ladies, to say now that you're an entrepreneur, you're established, did it not bother you the fact that the prevailing stigma is that if you become successful in business as a woman, you might fail in a relationship? I also thought that way.
No, it didn't.
Because of maybe
No, it didn't. Like I said,
Yeah.
times have changed.
Okay, now how did your
Guys-
partner welcome this part?
They were very supportive. He was very
Amazing.
supportive.
Yeah,
Yes, he was very supportive.
Yeah.
And
Give me your topic.
yeah,
I told you. I told you.
like times have changed, and they know what man. I said like the say old days more they get turned off by that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Just now, Betsy. Ole high opera really bad. So precious man. Well, now I'll say you've traveled this journey, and I'm listening now. I'm a young woman as well. I would love to maybe not necessarily be in perfumes, but there's dreams that I want to also fulfill, and I never had the confidence. What would you say to me as I'm listening now?
What I would say to you, sit down with yourself, have a conversation with yourself. Like it's normal to talk to yourself, you know. Find out what it is that you want, and then come up with ways on how you're gonna achieve it. You know, I carry my diary every day. Sometimes some of you on the notes, I write down stuff. So okay, fine. How am I gonna do it? Research it. Do this. Do that. Do that. Like in your mind, either this mind map. You know, like even if it doesn't make sense at the time, but put it onto paper. Like write it down, type it out, send it to a friend. I talk to my friends like 24 hours. Because I get like, I want to do something like this. You know, you know, like speak it and then start speaking it into existence.
Amen.
And then I start working on it.
I hear you.
And the key word here is to start.
Sure. You've got good friends, ne?
Yeah, amazing.
Better about how let's. I didn't say anything. That's the day the idea dies. Anyway, 7 o'clock. I want to get in touch with you. I want to get the services, and maybe I feel like you could be my mentor. Are you available for such services? So to the person listening at home, can they get your number?
Yes, they can.
Because
My cell phone number is 082 494 5003. Yeah, and they can also get me on Instagram, which is at house_of_presh_sa. And Facebook as well, House of Presh SA.
You know, it's so nice. I don't know if you've realized this. Actually, the websites are slowly being replaced by Instagram. People don't even go to websites anymore. About the Instagram handles or Facebook or whatever the case may be, WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. That's, I think, what people are doing now. Presh, I'm gonna let you go because you need to go and cook again.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Closing argument for the listener at home. I know the prices now, and you said the different cents. So now at the moment is this right?
No.
How many?
I have 6 cents for ladies and 4 cents for guys.
Mara, how umbrella? Who is one cents? You distinguish as one to them.
Like, for an example, like paper, take those paper and like.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's a coffee. Coffee na like. I'm telling you. But I'm not saying that I mix them out of coffee.
After soccer training. But it's so amazing. Look, Precious, when I knew that we were going to interview you, for me it was an excitement, primarily because we're always celebrating the well-known talents, and we hardly get to tap into these things. And it's quite interesting. Well, what is even more interesting is the fact that you didn't study for this, and maybe kudos should go to the university where you studied because of, I think, the value of education is really to sort of, empower you as a person to be able to think outside of the box.
Yes, and to ground you.
And to ground you. Yes. Where did you study?
I did.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But I'm also doing my BTEC here.
Oh, you're part of the people. But I swear I saw you. And the people made income. Precious. And where's home?
Home. Soshanguve.
What was Gandalf? Who's Gandalf? Hey, what was Gandalf? Your person is in the studio here with us. For the AA. I'm asking you as if it's I don't know that how Luisa could do. Yes, 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. This is Tshwane FM 93.6. Precious Presh, Presh from the House of Presh is speaking to us today. Presh, we're very proud of you, and we cannot say that enough. But I think we'll do this. Precious, perfume. That's what they would say.
No, wait, that's why I didn't. That's why they are difficult. That's why they want more.
Okay.
This is where I want to take it.
Yeah.
Because no feet, oh, okay. I feel like, Mama, listen, I want to do this thing. I wanted to go here. I wanted to go there. I'm looking at this. I'm targeting this.
Yeah.
This is where the money is. This is how people think. This is how people want to feel.
Yeah.
Like, when wouldn't you want to, wouldn't you put in money into something like this just as a customer? If somebody comes to you, I get access to 150, you'll buy it. I approach 15 other people in a day. So that's what you explain it.
I'm counting here on it. Yeah.
You just explained. So I think that's how it came about.
Did show me what's about? Look, I'm not being sarcastic about this one, but we've got a serious problem in friendships. Quite frankly, it has went to that point where legit, we advise people to be careful of friends. Friends who, when you tell them your dreams, they become the reason your dreams don't happen. I think that's you must thank God twice every day if you've got such people. People who are not want to develop jealousy when they see you succeed. Because some of the friends actually were genuine initially, they were very helpful, and the minute you go beyond what they had put as a limit for you, they become the people that are going to now plot against you on forward. And we've seen it quite happening quite a lot. And I hope that spirit can actually sort of die, because a lot of businesses, a lot of great ideas don't get to manifest because of friends banally, a bad intention in friendship. So you must thank God for the friends that you have.
I do every day. Every day.
Or at least any snakes.
No. No. Wait, see, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Tshwane, yeah, you do find bad ones, you do find this ones, yada, 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 yada. But then I think it starts with you. What kind of a friend are you to your friend?
I hear you.
And then how do you portray yourself to your friend? Once or
when
say hello to all once
yeah.
You want to give it back to them. You know? So I think that's how it is with a group of my friends, the people that I call my friends.
Okay.
Like the friend that I am to them.
Yeah.
They reciprocate the same.
So how much are you going to interview first or check?
No, actually we've been friends since high school. We've been friends since high school, and
since Ghana. Let us Ghana to friendships, eh? Anyway, ketlaring. Ka re tla sa mo kaofela le hotse le a ering sky excuse me, 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. Presh, thank you so much for being with us. I wish we could have you throughout. But I know we'll never get enough of you, even if we would have you throughout. We're very excited about you. And I hope that this is not the last time you come to see us. I think the next time you come, you must tell us how is the new range. And this is very close. Throughout December, and we need a different innovation in whatever that you're able to do. But thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. It really, it's inspiring for us. Then it's inspiring. I hope that bosses are listening. Then it's inspiring. Go to the radio station. Whatever I want at whatever time. What I want to water pressures for 10 hours. Keep waiting for 10 hours. That's what I'm trying I get to water for a few minutes. Yeah, I want to water pressures. I go sleep for 10 hours.
Make your own rules.
Yeah. Go interview. I'm now. I'm going to perfume. Yeah. Just after 7 o'clock, Tshwane, this is where we end it. We'll be moving over to the next interview, and that is with Lorraine Khoza from the Lorraine Khoza Foundation, a very interesting young lady as well. At 23, she's been nominated to be under the 200 most influential young people that are under the age of 30. Speaking about influential people, the next lady, this woman is amazing. In a space of a month, her song has already had around 5 million replays on YouTube. You're going to hear her now.
012-382-4936. That's 012-382-49336.
It's not Mzala got on this one. It's Ola Moya Wami. A very interesting one. This woman is amazing. Yo! Basadi wa South Africa. Yeah, we're done. Let me just call this other person so that I can just walk you out.
Oh, okay. You can have my business card right away.
Oh, awesomeness. Yeah. That's even much better.
Yeah.
That's even much better.
Can we take a picture?
Yes.
Can they come in?
Yeah. Oh, they were supposed to actually, but yeah, they can come in. Yeah. I just want to put this one on the line. They can come in. Go fade. Yeah, he named Wangamnan.
If people don't know your love, today they know.
Yeah.
We don't have space. You will use your space. We don't have space.
What's the iPhone? The iPhone guy has in this space. Lorraine, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very pleased to stay on the line. We're jumping with you after this current song, man. Awesomeness. So you can take pictures here and then you can also take them outside there. That's what FM thing. Yeah. Okay. There's actually comments. I told you Mokete lockdown could almost everyone. Okay.
Like
Do you know this lady, Toki Moss?
Who?
Toki Moss.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know she's my buddy. She wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Like I say,
No, just saying.
they look good. You can't say. Are they saying?
Yes. Oh, no, you're saving.
Same.
Yes. Oh, guys.
You kill the interview.
She killed it, ne?
Multi-target market, and you spoke about this.
I said, and it was her. Because me, my target market was like everyone.
Yeah,
No,
like.
you need to be specific.
No, but you killed it. You said I'm not on the road. I'm a size.
Oh, I joined up 7. Oh, wow.
And it's a normal thing, like on the space.
So you got to film much it. And she knew that she's being interviewed by a guy. Or maybe I look different. I look like I was looking.
Why are you taking me?
Wait, are you?
Because it was hectic and
So I took like
Yeah.
so many.
Guys, answer my YouTube.
Okay, wait, it's saving. I want to see what it's saying.
Osha, do you want to take one from this side? Or
Yeah, please.
Yes,
okay.
But it's
Not it can be what you call it.
With the perfumes. Okay.
I was standing.
Okay, we can stay. Mara, at least I want to lay in your ring out.
Next time you're gonna be interviewing her.
Yes, what is she doing?
Surprise.
everything personalized.
Yes.
Everything personalized.
Next time, and then after that, it's gonna be her.
And she's one that started my business.
Yes. She's I cannot.
And what are you doing?
I'm a director.
In what?
I'm a promo director. I write scripts. I work for multi-choice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm starting my own company as well.
Okay, production company.
Yes.
That's amazing.
You see?
That's amazing.
Siyapushana.
Yeah, I think we too.
Thank you so much.
Okay, one, we can take the other one up and as well. What is the wine? Oh, I know the wine.
I do everything branded and personalized.
Oh, with a friend.
Yeah, branded.
Oh, okay. Sure, sure. Lorraine. Unora kusafuni. Unora kusafuni. Okay. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. So thoughts and more young so ne.
Alright, Mimi.
Okay, awesome. Two minutes after 7 o'clock, and this one is Obrikwana. It's a song titled Molo, and he speaks about Abangan Bamanga. What a lovely discussion that we just had now with Precious from the House of Presh, man. You know, I love our young sisters that are doing the most in their own personal space. Today, we're joined by Lorraine Khoza from the TUT Rangua campus, but Lorraine is from the, Lorraine Khoza Foundation, and she's going to be just speaking to us on this lovely day. I see already comments coming through, and the first one here on YouTube, it's Mr. Amukhelang Noku, and he says, "I'm here for the interview with the chairperson of the Lorraine Khoza Foundation, Miss Lorraine Khoza." Actually, when I actually looked at the picture, and I was asking someone, Kiriman, this Lorraine Khoza, I know her from somewhere, but I just forgot. Or guy. Then I was reminded of the correlations between Yanale and Mokhelam. Yeah, no kusan. Yes. Not the friendship. Oh, auntie. Lorraine, how are you, my sister?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Look, man, Lorraine, you're doing the most. Or you were, recently, celebrated as as a young influential person among the 200 young influential people in South Africa by the Maiden Garden. I think that was amazing, and being recognized for those great things. How does it make you feel?
Sorry?
I'm saying when you were celebrated, Molako, the 200 young influential people under the age of 30 by the Maiden Garden, how did that make you feel?
I thought, to be honest, I thought, what? Is it maybe too soon? Because I've just started. I know that we've reached out to a lot of people already, but I was never expecting it when they called me to tell me that I've been nominated. And I was thinking, oh, okay. But then once I took it all in, I realized that this is a great opportunity for people to learn about the work that we do and for people to understand that they're not alone in their journey. And young girls out there who have already been through what I went through, what they can take from this is that whatever you go through will not determine where you're going. So that really made me happy, and it revived my spirit of going on, because I can see that we are headed towards the right direction. So that's just how I feel about it. I'm excited, I'm happy, but most of all, I'm grateful to be honored, and I hope that a lot of people can learn that if you stay true to yourself and you do not allow circumstances that you come across in life to stop you, then nothing will ever stop you.
Interesting. I'm glad that today our discussion is largely around the journey of recovery and the process of becoming a victor in a victimizing situation. Your call and I mean the work that you do is a work of repatriation, a work of recovery, a work of repurposing yourself, and you're using your scars to do that. I think in your bio, you speak of how you are a survivor of sexual violence yourself, but furthermore, you speak. You speak from an activism point of view, and I think that has actually been a voice for many people. And this is mental awareness month, and there's a lot of young people that are going through many things, and violence and abuses among those. So for us today, can you just take us through in terms of in your journey, what has been the most fundamental strengths for you that has helped you to become the woman that you are today, irrespective of the tragic incident that you had on your first year?
Well, the slogan of the Lorraine Khoza Foundation is "Find your voice, find your power." When you find your voice, you've found your true self. You've found what you stand up for. Once I realized that what I had went through had absolutely nothing to do with me. It was a man that lacked self-control that decided to impose himself on me. I had absolutely no control over the situation. And once I understood that it wasn't my fault, I was able to pick myself up and continue with the dreams that I had before the encounter. The Lorraine that was happy, the Lorraine that looked forward to life, the Lorraine that was dreaming to be, whatever it is that I had dreamt about before the whole ordeal. So once I understood that he did not take my power from me. If I decide to be stuck in that place, then I have given him my power. Already he has taken he has imposed himself physically, but I cannot allow him to further damage me mentally. So I had to understand that and then pick myself up. What also assisted me in the journey was the people around me, the people that you surround yourself with. My family is a family of love and support. I have the most amazing friends. I have the most supportive partner, and I know that even on days where I'm not the nicest person to be around, they understand that I'm still going through a journey of healing and nothing is rushed. So that is important. It's really important for you to go deep in there, find that little person or that person that you were before everything happened, and try day by day. Don't rush yourself. Be patient day by day. Find out the things that you liked before it happened. By doing that, you are gradually getting your power back.
Sure. 29 after 7 o'clock. Lorraine Khoza is with us on the line, and she's speaking, in the process of healing and how, that, should be properly aligned. Lorraine, you raised a very important point about the people around you, the support around you, your partner and the likes. Often at times, as people that are close to anyone that is undergoing a journey of recovery, a journey of healing, we often try too much to help and end up doing more damage. If you were to advise me, Kileko Khai, as the listener, how would you?
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm saying as a listener, Kochai, now listening, how would you say I need to sort of behave? What should be my attitude towards a person that is going through a journey of healing?
A lot of people deal with this differently, so you cannot apply a blanket approach. That's why it's important to find out how deep they are hurt, and then try to find ways in which you can work around that. You find that a person, we obviously cannot compare pain, but you find that other people are able to deal with much better. Some people's mental health is quite stable, so they're able to take it a day, like myself. But there are people who are, I don't even know what to say, there are people who are deep to a point of no return. And as a family member, as a friend, you need to understand that you cannot rush them. Do you understand me?
I hear
And
you.
you cannot neglect them either. So what you need to do is strengthen communication between yourself and the victim or the survivor. You need to find out how they are doing on a daily basis. You find that today I'm happy, I'm ready, I'm alive, I'm ready to work on my goals, I'm ready to, tackle life as it comes. And then there are days where everything just coming down, and you need, as a friend or as a family member of that kind of a person, you need to understand that some days will be fine and some days will not be okay. And on days that they are not okay, they don't need to be clouded. They need to know that I have someone. I'm allowed to feel all these feelings. My feelings are valid. And when, as a person, you can, as a supporter, you cannot make it about you. What you can do is support them and just hold their hand and let them know that they will not be they will be okay. So it's quite important to also educate yourself on mental health, understand understand their behaviors and how to lend a helping hand should it get to that. Also, maybe if you are attending a psychologist as a mother or as a friend, you could try to accompany them someday and then maybe get advice from their psychologist or their counselor or the social worker to see my behaviors. I guess what is it that I can do from a supportive view? Because we can't just, like I mentioned earlier, apply a blanket approach. These are different cases. These are different people with different mental health.
And now let's speak about the work that your foundation is doing, because this is your area or specialty. Just take us through uh, holistically. What kind of work are you guys working on, and what is the core purpose of the type of work that you guys do?
Okay, so the foundation has three divisions. We have intervention, we have prevention, and then we have our day-to-day jobs, which is assisting victims with psychosocial support. The most important one, we prioritize their mental health. So if you've been through that kind of ordeal, what we do is we try to link you up with social workers. We also have psychologists that have volunteered their skills pro bono. So if it's that hectic, we usually refer you to those psychologists. And then what we do is we have partnered with an all women's lawyers association that usually gives advice and legal assistance in that regard. So if you are already in the process of attending court, you get prepared or you get advice on how to the proper channels to follow. And then also we place victims in shelters. We've partnered with the Department of Social Development in Mpumalanga province. They assist us. Let's say you are in Emalasheni and I'm in Northbridge and you need to be placed at a shelter immediately. We work with them to find transport and what's going to take you to that specific shelter, which we cannot disclose for safety reasons. They become less prone to violence. You are able to have a voice, and you know what you bring on the table. So we are always looking at finding ways in which we can assist these women, especially women from disadvantaged backgrounds or disadvantaged communities in South Africa. Last year, December, we hosted our very first women's business seminar where we invited various government agencies to assist them in the proper channels to follow if you want to start a business. If you're already in business, then how do you sustain it? How do you get yourself funding? How do you get your product out there? These are just some of the things that we do to ensure that women have some sort of income. Because obviously if they find themselves in a case of domestic violence, they know that with or without your financial support, I can still walk out. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So we are just looking at, we have a lot of plans actually to ensure that a lot of women are empowered. So on the other division of intervention, we have gender-based violence awareness campaigns, usually or mostly on our social media platforms. We educate on different kinds of gender-based violence. We have outreach campaigns in various communities. We work with high schools. We work with universities. Last year, it was this year before lockdown, we had our very first GBV awareness campaign with PET Harankua campus. So it was challenging alcohol abuse to end gender-based violence. We are looking at addressing gender-based violence at grassroots level. So we are going to try to raise awareness, to try to bring in as many people as possible. We try to find innovative ways because we feel that if there have been campaigns in the past, what is it? What is the that we can do as an organization to ensure that we get people to be a part of the conversation, to ensure that we spark conversations amongst people who would normally not, engage in those kind of conversations. So we do have plans to, raise look at male-dominated industries and get them to be a part of the conversation. So in a nutshell, that is what the Lorraine Khoza Foundation is about, to raise awareness on gender-based violence, to empower, and to also restore.
Lorraine, upon being nominated, or rather, appointed, or rather appreciated as one of the 200, young people that are under the age of 30 that are doing the most in the society, you said it came as a surprise because you guys had only been in existence for a few months at the time, and even though you guys had already reached out to a lot of women and children. Lorraine, so you didn't say name if you guys have just been in existence in a few months. And I mean, I'm just listening to you now and I'm asking myself, I know these people are working. When were you guys in existence? And I mean, this great work, who's supporting you? Where are you guys getting the support to actually, touch on so many things that even, well-established institutions are still struggling to sort of reach some of these spaces? Share that with us.
Before anything, I'm an alumni of the Tshwane University of Technology. I hold a BTech with TUT. But after I graduated, this whole journey, this whole thing that I went through, I think it drew me closer to what I am called to do, to what I am most passionate about.
Yeah.
So I decided that then after I have acquired my qualification, I decided I'm going to dedicate my entire life to the betterment and well-being of women and children in South Africa and abroad. So I had all the time in the world to sit down and find what is it that is not being done. How can I come in and lend a helping hand? So if you are saying that we've achieved so much in such a short space of time, it is because there was nothing else I could do. My whole life is on this thing. I want to see change and I'm becoming the change that I want to see. It has been quite challenging on getting some of our programs to be executed, but we have people that are always ready to support our work. My alma mater, which is TT Harankua, I went there and I approached them and I told them that they already knew about me at that time because in 2018 we already started working, but we were formally registered in 2019. So I told them that this is what I want to do. And I would like to host the very first where I am from in a country where this thing happened because TT is based, TT Harankua is located in a location. So I decided that this is where this thing happened to me and this is my music. So I want to bring it Ekasi and get them to understand the dynamics of allocation and how we can make a difference. So they loved the idea. And then the Gauteng Board approached me. I was just sitting and they said, Lorraine, we've seen the work that you are doing already. And at that time, really, I was thinking, I'm not doing enough. They said, we are already seeing the work that you are doing and we want you to host a program in Gauteng province. So we'll take care of everything else when we just bring the team and then set this whole thing up and then we'll support it. I was really shocked, but I embraced it and then I got my team to work on it. We dealt with the program and the logistics around the program. We planned everything and then we executed it in TT. NYDA came on board. Tshwane University of Technology came on board, and then the whole program was a success. In the business summit that we hosted in Mpumalanga, the Department of Social Development as a partner came through as well. They sponsored the event. We got CEDA, we got MEGA to send representatives from those government agencies to join us. So if you are running a non-profit organization, you need to know why you started. You need to know your primary objectives and you need to understand that with or without the cash or with or without funding, I should still be able to carry out the vision because this is not why we started. So we are hammer and knock on doors. You find people that you want to work with, potential partners. You send proposals to them. If they are happy with the idea and it is aligned with their goals, they come through. That is how we've been surviving as the Lorraine Khoza Foundation. We knock on doors and people just come through, come to aid for us. So Nanyalo, because also if we were still less than a year old, it was difficult for them to inject funds directly into the organization, so we are able to carry out our vision and mission. So we relied on sponsorship. It's just unfortunate that COVID-19 happened because after that, we got declared as a public benefit organization by ISAR. So it meant that people could, companies or the private sector could start donating. So we are able to not be limited and carry out our vision and mission.
Sure. 42 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock. Atinyalo, Lorraine, sesiyathi manje ukuthi hayi ngumswati lo sesi. Uyanatha. So on a lighter note, Lorraine, apparently ngeSwati nithi nina istro umbhobho wokunatha. Umbhobho wokunatha. 42 minutes have gone since the hour 7 o'clock. This is Tshwane FM 93.6. The Capital Talk is where you're at with myself, Mokete Radebe. Tony has jumped in, man. I see some of your comments, especially on YouTube. The earlier one was from Nokwamukelang and Tiny Masango, as well as has joined in as well, joining the interview with Lorraine Khoza, but on point, Kiamukelang. 100%. And fortunately, Ngiti are behind you in this journey of assisting the victim, or the victims of GBV. And Tiny Masango says she's such a powerhouse. This is so great, to see the many other people that are tuning in, just providing support. And on Facebook, I see Banele Bagza as well, just clapping hands there. And Obagene Tlabi, young woman doing great. Thank you so much as well for that support.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Lorraine, look, there's so many things that I want to talk to you about. I think we're supposed to book the whole day, but it's fine. Go back, say I'm a radio station. I'll to your time. You've done work. You've done quite a lot of. You've done a lot of work extensively in Emakasi. I think the victims are not necessarily those that are being sexually abused or whatsoever. I think it's also those that are perpetrators of this. I think now they've got a sickness. I don't think it should be normal for any person to inflict pain on another person. So, what causes this sickness? You would Amadoda specifically. I'm saying Amadoda because of we are in the majority who disabuse our fathers. What have you discovered as a sickness a leader to sense Amadoda sense into sense?
I like I mentioned earlier that we as an organization, we are trying to look at my root causes and then addressing them. So one time I was having a meeting with my team And one of our board members mentioned something so important that made me think a lot. And then I actually concluded that I agree. He said, we need to look at the Black community. We are a damaged community. In a sense, when you go to Ekas, the first thing, the first Laungena call, you find that men actually at a bar drinking. The women are out there in the streets, baba tennis veg. They are trying to do what they're trying to at least bring food to the table. Things are so hectic to a point where a mother has to let her 16-year-old ayolala with a taxi driver just so they can bring food in the table. They are absent fathers, and the lack of a male in growing a family, it leads to other angry. They become very, very angry people, and they don't know how to treat a woman. So all these things that are happening in Makasi, where things are just hectic, I feel that they have contributed a lot to what men are. So if we start at home, we deal with issues yema gender roles, we deal with issues yema entitlement, that for instance, that if I bring food on the table, I now own you. You do not own anyone. And we need to understand, we deal with these things at a psychological level. We need to understand what goes on in a man's mind before they force themselves on a woman. What goes on in a man's mind when they decide that and definitely they already have an advantage because physically they are stronger than you. What goes on, what triggers them to be violent, to raise a hand on you, to force themselves on you. And then those are the kind of issues that we have to try and deal with. That's why it's important with it. Government has already put policies in place. Government has already initiated programs. What we need to do as members of civil society organizations or non-profit organizations is to assist the government with dealing with these issues at community levels. I believe that if Mafila Eharankoa, I work with the councillor in Harankuwa to just get the community and have a discussion with the community, find out what is their views on on gender-based violence, for instance, and we find out how the men in Harankuwa think, and then we deal with that issue from what we have grasped. So I cannot deal with issues of Harankuwa men and then apply a blanket approach as an Eastern Cape. It doesn't work like that. We need to understand what the problem is in Ward 32. The men in Ward 32 think like this. The boys in Ward 32 have been raised this way. Then how can we bring them to be in touch with the realities and try to conscientize them on issues of entitlement, issues of ownership? So that's why we should go in communities where people don't even come, where they don't set food. We go there and we understand what is the problem in our community layer. Psychologically, how do we get these men to be what we want them to be?
Interesting. 48 after 7 o'clock. Speaking about getting in amadoda are thinking or how they are raised to the parents that are listening ekhaya manje, because of Lorraine lento singayibheka as if it's something that boys learn mase babadala. I think it starts from when we were young. I mean, if you look at if you look at when I'm also saying for instance, mawubuya ekhaya bakushayile bekuthiwa hayi ubaba bakho uyeza uzomshaya lo muntu okushayile, right? But if it's me, a boy, kuthiwa no ungakhali vuka uyoziphindisela. So we were raised to be these people who and we must always be violent in order to gain our space, and that is really difficult for men growing up to not resort to violence, because of women resort to emotions, men who resort to violence. That's how they sort of reflect their emotion, because of that's how we were raised in various parts of our society. Obviously in some areas things are done differently. But to the parents that are listening manje, what would be your advice in terms of ukukhulisa abantwana?
We need to break down in the gender roles that umfana ekhaya, his task is to do it in the garden, and then the lady will wash dishes. You need to treat your children equally. And then you need to instill values that are not gender-centered. If I'm teaching my girl to defend herself, then I'm teaching my boy child to defend herself as well. If I'm teaching dress this way, then I also need to teach my boy child so we need to break in the gender roles. I know that it's quite difficult for my parents because they were raised but as a new generation and as young people that are conscientized now, our duty is to go at home and have these conversations with our parents. So that build a relationship where you can even be open with your male child. You teach them that it's okay for them to feel stuff. They are only human. They are no different from your daughter. Emotions and everyone is allowed to feel. Teach them instill violence on them. I spoke about it very important on Facebook I think 2 weeks ago. The fact you punish abantwana in a harsh way. When you punish your children, you beat them up. You are telling them that violence is a solution. Violence is a way to correct ill behavior. You sit down with people and you talk to them. You let them know this is what I will not tolerate in my house, and I don't like it when you do 1, 2, 3. What I would love from you as my son, or what I would like from you as my daughter, is to 1, 2, 3. Mzala, without knowing, you are instilling in the communication. You solve issues with communicate. You are actually sending a message to your boy child that because when you are physically stronger than me, when you are able to have a family of your own, when your wife does not listen to you, this is how you correct them. So there are a lot of things that contribute to men becoming what they have become. So we need to deal with that as parents. And just try and reason with them. Try and find out how your kids are thinking, what goes on in their minds. That's when you can stop, and that's where you build the next husband in 5 years, the next father in 5 years, a father who's going to pass on those values and morals that you've instilled in them to the bantwana babo. That is actually how we break this whole thing.
52 minutes after 7 o'clock, Lorraine Khoza speaking to us from the Lorraine Khoza Foundation. Still continue with your comments there. There's Tando Masanabo who says, this is amazing. Our people need this kind of awareness so that we can do better as a society and make positive changes. Keep up the great work, Lorraine and team. I think that's amazing. Well-deserved comment indeed. Lorraine, ngizokuyekela mntasekhaya manje ngoba abantu bakulindile le endlini. But just for a closing argument, to the listener ekhaya, 2 people, ones that are going through a difficult moment, abadinga usizo lakho, or those that have actually underwent a similar process, your advice to them. But furthermore, the one that wants to do the kind of work that you're doing, and it may not necessarily be the same work that you're doing, maybe anything that they want to start that we want to bring about change, your advice to them as well.
Okay, to the person that's going through what I went through, I need you, at least what you can pick up from me is that I never stopped. And yes, I still go through. There are days where I feel, and there are days where I just feel like everything is coming down. But I remember who I am, and I remember that it wasn't my fault, so I take it a day. Healing, you cannot rush healing. You need to sit around it. You need to allow yourself to feel all these kind of emotions, and then don't let them overpower you. Don't drown in that emotion to a point where
Hi, Lorraine.
You can come out. If it ever gets too much for you, organizations like the Lorraine Khoza Foundation are there for people who feel that they don't have any options anymore. We are here to help you. Go out there and speak. You don't need to go on Facebook and share a story. Find someone that you can trust. Find someone, they will never judge you. Let them in on what happened to you, and then try and find help. And another thing that I'd like to say or just pass out to people is, let us try to become safe spaces for the people around us.
Sure.
Try and speak to people, find out what is going on, find out if they are doing fine, if they are okay, because people go through these things, and the saddest thing would be not having anyone to talk to, not having anyone to hold your hand while you go through this. Be a safe space. You don't need to open an organization like, find an organization like mine. Start in the meanwhile, start in your circle of friends and be a supportive friend and be a supportive family member. So a person that wants to not be the change that they want to see and form an organization like mine, they can always contact me in, the channels to follow if you want to formally register a structure. It's not a difficult process. But one thing that I can say to you is that you need to know why you're starting. You need to know to whom the help National Media is directed to, and how do you plan on working around that? What solutions do you want to bring on the table? What is government already doing? What are other non-profit organizations already doing?
Yes.
And then how can you assist in improving what is already being done to make the change that you want to see? Just start. Just start. Don't wait for anything. Do not doubt yourself. If you feel it in your heart that this is what I'm passionate about, I want to start doing something. Start where you are with what you have. And do not be afraid to go out there and knock on doors. Do not be afraid to let people know that you need assistance. As a perfect, I learn as I go. And I'm sorry to say that I need assistance in this regard. So just start and get as much people as you can to assist you. Get a brilliant team of people that whose goals also mama values are aligned with the organization, because you wouldn't want. I won't work with a perpetrator. What I'm going to do is find help for the perpetrator to ensure that they do not continue to be that kind of person in the society. So yeah, you need to find people that align with your brand. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Lorraine Khoza, umswati, wase wena sport.
We're in Komazi, Eskumane.
In Komazi.
Just after North State.
Is it in Komazi or in Komati?
In Komazi municipality.
Okay, siyabonga siswa senkomazi.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu for having me. Thank you so much.
I have to be honest, I wish we could have had you much more longer. I've actually realized that. Sizodinga futhi. Sicela uma unesikhathi futhi usitshele sike sikhulume nawe mntakwethu yazi. Ngithi sicela uma unesikhathi futhi usazise sikhulume nawe mnaka.
Mina ngikhona, into lekufanele ukuthi contact me and find out if I'm available. Anything for TUT, I'm here.
Sibonge kakhulu wena mntana sekhaya. Sibonge kakhulu. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much to
Thank you so much.
the many other people that are really supporting you. I think without the support as well of you, the people around you, half of the things that you have, sometimes you may have a vision, but if you have the wrong support group, the vision will end up becoming a burden. So if you've got the right people by your side, that's a plus. I know you can't mention all of them, but we appreciate them in the different spaces.
And they know, I let them know every chance I get, for being by my side and not leaving me, and dealing with me when I'm not the nicest person to deal with. And to the team at the Lorraine Khoza Foundation, because what would the organization be without them?
Sibonge kakhulu. Tiny Masango says, I've learned a lot. Thanks for hosting here. Tobeka Mabaso, big ups to the Lorraine Khoza Foundation for their outstanding work. It is heartwarming hearing a passionate young woman advocating for the safety of women and children. Well done, her to her and her team. I think those are amazing, well-deserved words. Siyabonga mntana sekhaya, may you have a lovely evening. Ungapheli umoya noma ngabe lendlela ingaba iba difficult kanjani. Usicela uchubeke uye phambili. I think there's just so many other young people, so many South Africans that will still need to benefit from you, even outside the country. That's where the vision should go.
We have plans to, Thank you so much. Please also if they need any assistance, if people know of people that need urgent intervention, please, they must know that our doors are open for them They can find us on Facebook at Lorraine Khoza Foundation, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's the same. Just reach out to us and then we'll see how best we can assist them.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you've mentioned that. I would have made a big mistake when I busy your part.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much to you and your lovely team for the prompt response.
Okay.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. It's 8 on top of the hour. That is our Lorraine Khoza that was speaking to us at this point in time.
Na madoda senzeni na amehlama inhliziyo yami yathuthumela ubuhlungu ngiyaphukile kanti madoda senzeni na masihlangana nana sazi senze njani na sibaleke sime sibuli kwenze njani na siyini isizathu sokuthi mathe ngibheka indlela engigqoka ngayo ngiqaphelile kodwa ngidlengule lekude nani bengikude ngijahiwe ngaficwa ngibulewe mathe ngithola i-protection order benginawo ngihluku ngibulewe mathe ngifunda ukuzivikela ngizivocavocile kodwa ngihluku ngibulewe mathe ngaphuza utshwala bengingaphuzile ngihluku ngidlwekuliwe mathe ngingamlwisa ngimlwisanga ngimncengile kodwa ungibulele abanye bathe angolwa ngizamile ngilwile ngikhalile ngizabalazile ngithandazile ngimemezile kodwa angizwakalanga ngidlwekuliwe ngabulawa ngacuywa kwenze njani na madoda senzeni na uma icala lethu kungukuba ngabantu besifazane sitsheleni senze njani na uma kungungabi namandla sitsheleni siwathathaphi na uma sidaleke ngendlela engasiyo khulumani nodaleli nasilungise koze kube ninidlwengule nabantwana bethu nisibulala ngehluku ngilandiseni ngenjani injabulo eniyithola uma seniyifezile iy'njongo zenu ngonjani umuzwe niba nawo uma senikwenzile konke lokhu nishiya sidingilizile sifile madoda kwenze njani na senzeni na ngimemezile ngikhalila ngizwakalanga namhlanje uboshiwe kusasa ungaphandle ngebheyili yebo umthethosisekelo uthi sonke sinelungelo lokuphila pho kungani thina besifazane kumele sibulawe kodwa umbulala sale phila ngesinjani isizwe sakusasa esizoba naso uma njalo ngibona umbulala eseqeda isigwebo sakhe noma kulahleka idokode ehamba ngaphandle bangaka abaphuma ejele baphinde babuyele kusho khona ukuthi ijele libasiza ngalutho basiza ngani odilika jele abangamakhulu ngamakhulu uma kuzoba yimi nentela yami engizoqoqa nginakekele umbulali kubuhlungu ukuba ngowesifazane kulelizwe abantwana bethu sifisa nokubafihla abaphephile ngisho emndenini yethu noma abanye bethule kodwa kwaba lishumi abayisithupha besifazane badlwengula imihla namalanga abanye basinda ngokulambisa sikhalile simemezile zwakalanga owethu uhulumeni esimkhethile akazwanga akasilalelanga mhlawumbe masingakhetha owesifazane uhulumeni kuyoba ngcono kuyona yonke imindeni elahlekelwe sikanye nani siyakhala ngoba namhlanje yibo kusasa yithi sizwe sama-Afrika vukani bhunkulani ihlome ihlasele ngezikhali zokukhola usizo lwethu luzovela kuJehova owenzile izulu nomhlaba madoda senzeni na kwenze njani na sinenzeni na rest in peace uyinene rest in peace Ayaka Tshwane and your siblings ibhalosa nemajola madoda senzeni na kwenze njani na sinenzeni na
Tshwane FM is taking over Pretoria. Tshwane FM 93.6. The future is now.
It's 3 after 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, the paper sitting night is not going to come through, but Mr. Tshwane Mampuru is here. We'll be speaking that property. Tshwane slow?
Yes, Mr. Mokete, how are you?
Oh, sharp, man, brag. Oh, great.
Sharp, very.
Lovely, man. Oh, sorry, go property.
So, remember last week we touched on real estate agents?
Yeah.
You know, and then this past weekend we heard about this new big project that's going to happen.
Yeah,
the mega city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now to answer what you guys were talking about last week with regards to employment, I feel like this opportunity, it's a great opportunity for real estate agents.
Yeah,
this opportunity. Because I mean, there's going to be 50,000 sectional titles, homes.
Sure.
But it's quite a lot. So and I imagine within the next 10 years, if you decide to become a real estate agent, you know that within the next 10 years, you'll be just selling in that specific development. You can make a lot of money.
Is it open to everyone though?
What do you mean open to everyone?
That section now, if you want to be an estate agent, but how do you that?
Well, at the moment, I'm not completely sure
Yeah.
if other agencies can be allowed.
Yeah.
But then what I would personally do is that as an agent, obviously, I can just refer a buyer to the agents that are selling that side.
Yeah.
But then obviously, once an owner starts owning the property, I can easily prospect or canvas or cold call and then ask them if they're willing to sell their property. Because once you own the property, you get to decide who can sell your property.
Oh, I hear you.
So now, obviously, if there's 50,000 units, picture it as 50,000 owners in the next 10 years.
Sure.
So your plan should be making relationship with those 50,000 people. The money you can make from there is through rentals. It's also through selling. Imagine now, from the 50,000 houses, imagine if you just have about 100 rentals, whereby, let's say the commission is about 10% of the rental unit. So let's say it's just investment units, and Barry or rent this place, it's like 5,000. So imagine now you're managing 100 of those units. Plus minus, you can be making 50K per month.
And I got those houses is in the east, name Moikloof is in the east.
Yes,
and what kind of houses are being built there?
So it's sectional title homes. So you remember what I said?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Sectional title, full title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more of like
so it's more like townhouses, apartments, basically.
Apartments, yes. It will consist of studio rooms, which is like bachelor, one bed, one bath, one bushes, and then there will be one bedroom apartments where it's a one bedroom and then there's actually a living area and a separate room. Then there's 2 bedrooms with 1 bath and there will be 3 bedrooms with 2 baths. Yeah. Amazing. You know,
great opportunities are coming through there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also what's nice about this is that, you know, this is actually to help a lot of South Africans. I noticed that from what the president said, it's to help people who are in the low, how can I put it,
the middle class,
basically. The middle class, low income middle class, people who are earning less than 22,000 rand. People also who can qualify for the government subsidies can be qualified to.
Oh, so the subsidy would assist in that
regard. Assist in this regard, you know. And what's nice about this, picture this as a new city that's being developed, because it's literally a city whereby there will be schools inside, there will be a nature reserve inside, there will be a fire station, they're planning to have a hospital and a police station.
So there'll be malls as well.
It's actually like a city.
Yeah. So
I call it a mega city.
So there's gonna be shopping centers, I believe, as well.
Most probably. I think so, yeah. You know, it's out there, you know, like you just have to keep looking, check it out, what about it, you know. So that's an opportunity that's ahead of us, if I can put it that way, you know. And I feel like the next generation that's coming, they're going to have a very nice life. Because I mean, for instance, for us when we were growing, there wasn't a thing of Wi-Fi, but also now imagine if your kid was growing up morally. Already he's brought up in a house that has got fiber. So internet to them is just, you know, so those are the other perks to it. So look at it in a 20-year or 30-year long plan. Right now it's the development of it. It's when it's starting. And they said that it's a 10-year development. So you can already see that in the next 10 years, there's going to be a huge shift here in Pretoria.
Amazing. It's 8 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. Mr. Tony Mamburu speaking to us about the various opportunities. So if, I think last week we didn't touch largely in terms of what are the requirements for one to become a real estate agent?
Yes. So now the first most important thing to become a real estate agent is that you need to be registered under the Estate Agent Affairs Board.
Okay.
Yes, because you remember there's a question you once asked me that there's most probably other agents that are not as ethical, you know. So now at least this law, it helps us to regulate all the agents. So all agents need to be registered under that. If an agent isn't registered or doesn't have an FFC, that means they're not supposed to be operating with regards to selling or anything that has to do with property transactions. They're not allowed to do that. So now, in order for you to start, there's 2 ways. If you don't have any qualification, you'll obviously have to work up the ladder.
Very important. I think that's the other fundamental one to say, if I don't have the relevant qualification,
yes. So now, if you don't have a qualification, what's nice about this industry is that it's not those industries where they look at your experience, they look at your degrees, you know, they look at basically the skills that you have. Can you really sell? And can you think? Can you talk to people? Can you network? Can you build a database of people? Can you maintain relationships? You know, that's basically more about the gist of this job. So essentially, if you're not, let's say you don't have any qualification, what the first step you can do is to approach an agency. So when you approach an agency, they'll employ you as an intern. So the first thing you need to do is to become an intern.
I hear you.
Intern, you become an intern for about 12 months. From there, you'll be needed to now do some fundamental learning, whereby now you do your NQF4. NQF4, it's a short course that you do that just talks about real estate. From NQF4 now, that's when you are able to do what they call a PDE. It's a professional designation exam. So once
at what cost?
Well, the costs differ from schools to schools. That way. Yeah.
But what's the average?
Well, for everything you can plus minus for all the qualifications. Plus minus 25,000. But now it might seem a lot, but look at it this way: you start as an intern. When you start as an intern, you're already working while you're studying, at the same time. So you can literally, the first year or the first 3 months as you're working, you start recouping your money so that you can start paying your fees. Right now, you can actually find agents who don't have the qualifications, who've just been interns year after year. Some of them, they just focused more on experience, and they don't necessarily want to go deep, because most of the people that want to do these qualifications, their main aim is to become a principal. So when you become a principal, it means you as a person, you can sell properties on your own, you can sign your own mandates. But then if you don't have that principal status, you need to be under an agency.
And how do you get the principal status?
So now, coming back to those qualifications, you do your NQF4. After NQF4, that's when now you can do a PDE4. That's the exam that you write.
Okay.
After writing that PDE4, along that, whilst you're doing your internship and also your NQF4, there's something that you need to do, which is called a logbook.
Okay.
A logbook is just gathering all the documents that you've been doing. So it's basically a book that has everything that you've been covering, and that will be presented to the markers, like CETA and people like that. From there, once they do credit you and see that you are actually fit to become a real estate agent, and then now from your PDE4, that's when now you can do NQF5. Sure. When you have your NQF5, you're now rated as a full status agent. So full status meaning that you've got those qualifications.
That's where you are now.
I'm not there yet.
Where are you? Which status are you?
Right now, I'm still currently as an intern, and then this year I've been working on my NQF4. And then also on the other side, I'm just doing other property workshops and studies and short courses.
12 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is the Capital Talk right here on Tshwane FM 93.6. Mr. Tony Mamburu speaking to us. Let's say a quick break. This one, it's by Kelly Kumar. It's a song titled Utando. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up for tonight. When it comes to music, she's super talented. Kelly Kumalo on this one. Utando, what a lovely tune. And yeah, man, it's 17 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. Still with Mr. Tony Mampur. Tony Choice?
Yes. And then now I want to talk about people with qualifications. What's nice is that now you can be exempted from doing the NQF4 or the NQF5. So you simply just now write the exam instead of doing the qualification before you write the exam.
So what kind of qualification is needed? How many which qualifications?
Well, I'm not really sure because now they're the ones that decide.
How to get a tertiary qualification? That's
it. Tertiary qualification. Let's put it that way.
And this is even if you're doing this as a part-time hustle.
Yes, part-time hustle. You can also do it. You can also do it as a full-time. But then now there's important things that you need to understand about this specific industry. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but it teaches you a lot of things. Firstly, it teaches you to be patient and to be humble. Because one thing I've learned, I thought that when I entered this industry, yes, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of money that can be made. But now you need to understand that if I sell a property today, doesn't mean that I get the money today. So let's make it a practical situation. I'm the estate agent and then you're the buyer. Today you sign an offer to purchase with me. It doesn't mean that since you're signing today, I'm going to get paid today. I'm only going to get paid the moment you get your title deeds that states that this property now belongs to me. So that process, which is the transfer process, on average, it takes about 3 months.
Sure.
But it can take long. The reasons why it can take long is, for instance, let's say you, the buyer now, let's say instead of now providing the guarantees from the bank, you take time. Hence, I always say that it's always wise to first get pre-qualified before you look for property. Because sometimes if you come now without being pre-qualified, it means that we need to wait plus minus over 20 days so that you can get an answer from the bank to see if they are willing to actually offer you a loan for that property.
I hear you.
So I only get paid after 3 months. But then now, yes, 3 months does sound a bit close, but there are transactions that can actually last long. Right now, for instance, I'm experiencing one transactions that I did in January. They were supposed to register around about 15, 20 March. But then around that time, that's when the COVID-19 was happening, you know. From then now, the transaction has been delayed ever since. Because now, you know, that
So till today, I also register
for that specific property till today. So now imagine if I was just depending on that one deal, how would I have been surviving then? You know.
So now we're not telling anyone on air, but the money is good. Ne?
The money is good.
Yeah.
You know what's good? What's good is actually helping people and giving them knowledge. You know, I'm just happy about that because the more I find people that I sell their properties, the more I understand that when they bought their property, they weren't really knowledgeable about this, and then they happened to buy the property at a very overpriced value.
I hear you.
The time they decide to sell, I have to be that person who just has to now, I understand you did a mistake, Mara. Let me try to pull some strings, and see what I can do. You know, that's what I appreciate more.
Interesting. 21 after 8 o'clock. This is the Capital Talk right here on Tshwane FM 93.6. And you're with me, Mokete Radebe, and Mr. Tshwane Mamburu. We want to wrap it up, but just before we wrap it up, your closing remarks, Tshwane?
What I can say is that, you know, with this new development that's going to happen in Pretoria, it's really going to change a lot of things, you know, and it's a very good place to start an investment. I know it might need a lot of explanation, but then look at it this way. Imagine now, this project is estimated to last to be done in 2030. So now imagine if you're to buy the property that costs 499,000 rand, let's say 500,000 rand. You buy it today. As much as they're still building it, you're buying it today. By the time the entire development is done in 10 years' time, obviously that place will have developed. There will be a life system going on. You know, by then that property will have increased in value. Sure. You decide to sell it then. I've got a good. I rate that this could possibly sell around about R1 million to 1.1 in the next 10 years. You know, just this specific property. But also, there's a good chance that it can accumulate in value way more than I anticipated.
I hear you.
It's because of how the development is going to be.
Amazing. 22 after 8 o'clock. We're back again tomorrow, same time, same place, looking at obviously different things. And thank you so much for your listening pleasure. We are in the hashtag Mental Awareness Month. And remember, as Lorraine was speaking earlier on, let's be safe havens for those that are going through a journey of recovery, a journey of healing. This is how we leave it tonight. Thank you so much for your listening pleasure. Mr. Mamburu,
thank you so much.
We're back again with you next week.
Next week, most definitely.
Okay. My Yogi on this one is by Vadi. Good evening.
93.6. 93.6.
93.6. Yogi. Hey. Siporo no sai. Yeah, Butanda. You know this song? Yogi.
I promise not to hurt you, baby. Not to harm you, baby. Not to make you cry. No, 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 no. I will never leave you, baby. I adore you, baby.
Yeah, 25 minutes after this one, this is Vadi with the song titled My Yogi Yogi. It's a great evening to you, and thank you so much for your listening pleasure. That is the Capital Talk right on Tshwane FM. We're back again tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much for your listening pleasure. Pebble City Nights, it's coming through. Great music that is actually coming through from the Pebble City Nights team for tonight.
Let's now 012-382-4936. That's 012-382-4936.
93.6. You know, some of the churches, they don't need your qualification. They have nothing to do with your education, Bujish. Bujish. Boy, since it was 1909, 1910, long before I was born,